We're recording. Hello, everyone. Your host, Cy Smith, coming to you on a Thursday. Every Thursday is Health Day. For those who don't know, every Thursday is Health Day. I know it looked like my mustache fell apart here, but please excuse that. Every Thursday being Health Day, we talk about making sure that people are drinking alkaline water. Cancer can't survive in an alkaline environment, so we want to make sure people are aware of that you do your jumping jacks, touch your toes, push-ups, all of that good stuff, so that you can be as healthy as you can be. So that's every Thursday. This video, I'm gonna save it on YouTube so you guys can have this forever. And we're going to make sure that people reference this, because this is going to be a training video in which I'm going to explain to you guys some key things that to me will give you a greater appreciation on what we've built here. And I say we, each and every one of you, everyone who's donated resources to help us do what we do, it's because of you. And this is why I want to make sure that this is there for all of us to be able to use and reference people back to for generations to come. We're going to also have this video put on CDs as well for those people who, they use CDs and they don't do the whole internet or social media like YouTube. So get your pen and paper out and ready. We're about to go over some key information, that was going to help you. First and foremost, National Block Club University, www.nationalblockclubuniversity.com is the website, www.nationalblockclubuniversity. I believe we are streaming live on Facebook. If not, we'll get around to it. Let me start out with this map right here, this grid right here. I hope we are live so that way I can see if you guys can see what I'm seeing here. That would help me out with managing this, if I can see that you guys can see this. Hopefully you can. If you can't, let me just start describing it while I get into my Facebook and see if I can see what you guys are seeing. So this here is villages. Now, just so you guys know, villages are small manageable areas. And it's something that we've carved out. We've gone in neighborhoods and we said, let's carve out small manageable areas, because we understand a zip code, which is the way we're organized, is huge. So let's carve out small 16 to 20 block radiuses. And within those small little carved out areas, let's get to know the people inside those areas. And let's make sure that they know each other. One of the key things, the reason we exist, is anti-violence. And we're not going to stop this shooting and killing out here without dealing with a lot of structure and a lot of systemic issues. And that's what we've organized ourselves to be able to do. So hopefully you guys can see this screen here. This here is Village 1507. I would say ignore the village number, not important right now. What I do want to make sure I call to your attention though is this right here, which is, let me see if I can draw on here. I want to be able to draw, or at least create circles. Okay, there we go. So let me change the color of that circle so you guys can see it. There we go. There we go. Okay, let's clear that out. Now let's do it again. We're gonna have some fun here. Okay, so this here's the village number here. Ignore that. Like I said, that's not important. What's important is that you guys see these colors. So as you can see here, the yellow is strategic. It means the west part of this village. So Cottage Grove is west of Drexel, Ellis, and Greenwood. Any village in the U.S. that you see that yellow, whenever you see yellow, that means it's west, and green means it's in the middle, and blue means it's east. So that way you guys will know that. But here's what's arguably the most important. Those blocks represent all things dealing with travel, and this is the date and time when they meet once a month. So I just want you guys to see that, and let me click to another village so you guys can see, no matter where we are, it's the same format. So yellow means west. This is when they meet, and ignore the village number up there. No matter what village we're in, it's going to be the same format: yellow, green, blue. Yellow means west, so forth. Now I'm going to end up coming back. Let me get rid of these notes here. I'm gonna end up coming back to talk about specifically these village numbers. Um, but let me clear that because you can't really see that. Okay, here we go. So this village number 2953 means these 16 blocks: Rockwell, Maplewood, Campbell, Artesian, and those 16 blocks helps us with Waukegan, Illinois. So keep that, write that down. That's important for you to know. Now let's go to this other screen so you guys can see the big picture here. We have taken in Chicago and in every city, and we're in 20 cities, and we've built 16 block radiuses we call villages everywhere. So I know this is hard to see, so I'm gonna zoom in 1 minute here. I'm gonna zoom in 1 minute so you guys can see, because this is important for you guys to see what's already been established. Here we go. This is big enough. Let's zoom in here. Okay, so here we go. This here is 108, 108 small manageable areas that we've carved out. Now, the village that you just saw was 2953. If you remember, it said 2953. So I'm about to show you those blocks. I'm about to draw that circle again so you guys can know which one you was just looking at right here. It was 2953. 2953. Remember, I just showed you it said Artesian, Rockwell to Artesian, Campbell, Maplewood. That was just this one village, 2953. Let me show it to you again, just in case you missed that. I want you to be able to see that. Here we go. 2953 village. That's all of these blocks. 16 blocks. All of these blocks represent this 12953. Now, let's go back to all of those so you guys would know. We have villages everywhere. We have, um, uh, you just name it, it's 108 of them, village 5306. Each one of these villages does something different for Chicago. All right. So 2953 does things on anti-racism. Let's go back to that village and then I'm going to switch gears so you guys can know. So let's go to another village so you guys can see. Okay, let's go to 2916. This is right here, village 2916. It does apparel. See apparel down here? It does apparel. Let's go back to the big map so you guys can see. All right, let's clear this out. Let's clear all those so you guys can find 2916. 2916, it did apparel. Apparel, we know, is right here, 2916 village. So this 2916 village does apparel. And if you go back to here, 2916, right here, it does apparel for the whole city of Chicago. Okay, now people may say, why are you doing this? Because in order for us to deal with the violence, we have to go block by block. It's 4,000 blocks in Black Chicago. So what are you leaving behind when you get done going to that block, visiting that block? So we needed to leave behind some responsibility and something that can pull people together, give them a reason to interact with each other. What you don't want to do is pull everyone together about stopping the violence, pulling everyone together about no working on cars on the block, pulling everyone together about loud music. Those quality of life issues, if you pull people together with that, there's different perspectives on that. Some people don't mind, some people are okay with it, some people's sons and daughters do it. So instead of getting into a local geographical fight, when we know it's a bigger issue at stake, what we do is say, let's focus on something that is abstract. And in this case, it's apparel. So we're saying on Francisco, Mozart, California, whatever your local agreements are in terms of no light, no working on cars, let's get you guys to not disengage with each other because you're mad one neighbor feels a certain way than the other one. Let's come together for the bigger picture of apparel. And if you do that, you're going to have apparel, people that make t-shirts and hats, put money into your area so that the young children in your area can participate in programming, so that money can be put in this area from apparel manufacturers all over the city of Chicago into you guys' small manageable area. And we do this for all of these 108 different villages. It is humongous. And I'm spending a little time here because I really want you guys to see how significant this is. This here is Village 5107. 5107 is our restaurants village. 5107 is our restaurants village. And I don't know if I have that ready here. Probably not. But the bottom line, we've carved out 4,000 blocks in Chicago, and every single one of these blocks perform a different function. All right. So we can take an intermission here. We can take a break because I just gave you a mouthful and I know that was a lot. So now what we're going to go into now is this Name Your Four campaign, which is every Wednesday is economic day. So every Wednesday we talk about spending money internally, just like Chinatown, Greektown, and Little Italy. So I just want to give you this foundation of the villages. Every one of these villages perform a different function for the whole city of Chicago, meaning you're going to be creating interdependency. Like all people around the city need you to do what we're asking you to do so that it can benefit them. So now let's get into this next piece, which is right here. And I know this is a lot to digest, but we want to get started anyway. And again, just take notes and we can later talk about it. So what you're looking at here is what we call the loose change for global change. So we're saying, can dimes and quarters create jobs in our urban neighborhoods in Chicago, in Detroit, St. Louis, all over? We say it can. We believe it can. And to help make sure that we can, we have this process, and this is what I want to go in a little detail with. So we say dimes and quarters can. As a matter of fact, 10 dimes and 4 quarters can. 10 dimes, 4 quarters, they both is $1. When you got thousands of people doing 10 dimes, that's thousands of dollars. You got thousands of people doing 4 quarters, that's thousands of dollars. The key is every person that's participating, they're something. They're a teacher, a nurse, an electrician, a carpenter, a dentist, a doctor. So what we're really doing is using the loose change as an excuse to get to know you, to know what block you live on, and to find out how to plug you into this system that's going to allow you to not work hard, but to be smart and see your neighborhood get stronger, more vibrant, and safer. So let's go to what this is. So this here is apparel. Apparel. If you recall, I said Village 2916 was apparel. If you don't believe me, let's go back to that. 2916 Village right here, 2916 are these blocks, all of these blocks, and it is apparel right there. Okay, so you see the link, you see the connection there. It's very strategic. It's very, very strategic. Let's clear this out, and we're going to go back over here, and there it is right here. I drew that horribly. 2916. Out of all these other villages, this is the one, 2916, dealing with apparel. Every one of these other villages deal with something else that's going to help us out as a collective. If you want to know what the other things they deal with, I got that written. Like that's already documented so people can see what else each of these villages do. These are our leaders. We call them mayors of these different villages. And this is what they do. So let me draw the box here again, 2916. My drawing is horrible. 2916 is apparel. Apparel. You see it right there. 2033 is liquor stores. That's what that village does for the whole city of Chicago. 290929 is all bricklayers. 4404 is all lawyers. So every time we meet a person anywhere, if they tell us they're a lawyer, we're going to make sure that Village 4400 knows about them. If they tell us they're in the Navy, we're going to make sure Village 2304 knows about them. My point is this. Imagine Chicago where every single block, 4,000 blocks are working together. And each one of them is doing something different. That's bringing us together. That's pooling our resources together. That's making sure that every child is in a career path and being connected to retirees for every one of these subjects. That's what we have here. That's what's been built. So let's go back to this. Let me clear out the drawing again. Now, so this here is the Apparel Pool Fund. So what we're saying here is we want certain businesses to make sure that they're spending money with our apparel group. We're going to make sure that the apparel people have money coming from 3 different places. So if you into apparel, we're going to be there for you. We're going to help you out. And this is how we're going to do it right here. Right here. My drawing is horrible, you guys. Horrible. Let's try this again. Let's try this again. Okay, so we're gonna go right here. I'm gonna draw it bigger so that way I don't miss. So there's apparel, beauticians, people that do hair, chefs, DJs, entertainers, restaurants, seamstress, and travel agents. All of them are a one form coalition, and their role is to make certain that they spend money, they put money into this apparel pool fund. Ideally, they'll put up $2,000. That way, there's $2,000. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. So apparel, beauticians, chefs, DJs, all of them together will put money into this apparel pool fund so that everyone in the city that sells clothing can tap into this money and get some extra money. This is us keeping our money in our community, just like Chinatown, Greektown, and Little Italy. These are the businesses here that's going to make sure that every October and December is money for the apparel fund. All right. And Village 2916 is responsible for apparel all the time. They're going to know that money is coming from all of these other businesses to them so that the apparel fund is funded, and all the money should be spent that month. We don't want to be holding money in, money out. Everyone that sells something, we're going to sell it. I mean, we're going to buy it and make sure that all the money is spent, and we can have the bragging rights that we put $2,000, $5,000 into apparel for this month. So that's the format. And I just, I'm going to click on some of these so you guys can see it. That was apparel. And there's a village that manages apparel. These are beauticians. And again, all of these businesses here are going to put money into beauticians free hair day every March and September. So they got their day. Then we have chefs. It's a day when we set aside funding so that we take care of all our chefs. All right. So here we go right here. Let's move to chefs. There's all the chefs. Now, let me share this with you. Chefs is every April. So all these businesses are going to put money together into the chef pool so they can do free food for a hardship situation. But the bottom line, the chefs know that they're going to have backup from all these businesses every April. If you're a chef, you might say, well, what about other months other than April? We ask all our business people to look at the 12-month calendar and tell us your worst month financially. So that way we can fill in the gap that month. This is when we would normally do it in April, but we're flexible. We have other tools in the toolkit. This village here manages all things dealing with chefs. So 9th grade parents. Why do we have parents on here? Because what we ask all chefs to do is to pour money into 9th graders. We ask chefs to put money into 9th graders. If chefs are agreeing with that and putting money into 9th graders, that means the parents of 9th graders are going to put money into the chefs, because they know when they spend money with the chefs, it's coming back to their children to inspire them academically. It makes it a win-win situation when the chefs give back to the parents, parents give back to the chefs. These businesses are committed every month putting money into each one of them. So now you got businesses supporting each other, parents supporting the businesses, and the businesses supporting the children. This is a beautiful matrix here. And so I just click on the rest of them so you guys can see it. DJs, it's the DJ pool right here, all the DJs. And again, DJs give back to 10th graders. Let's go down so you guys can see it. I'm gonna spend a few minutes just going through so you guys can see, and I want you to pay attention to how the village numbers keep changing. So these are all the entertainers, singers, dancers, actors. Village 2312 manages that. They put back into kindergartners. Let's go to the next one here. All restaurants. So all restaurants help 3rd graders and vice versa. And these businesses put money into the restaurants. We have all the seamstress and tailors, all people that sew. My wife is one. All these black businesses pour into them. They pour into them all the Seamsters every January. But Seamsters are asked to pour into first grade awards. And if they do that, then the first grade parents are pouring to them on the other months other than January, since they know January, these businesses are going to pour into them. See how that works? It's a cycle and it just keeps on going. All travel agencies, we got Crystal Dyer in Chicago, Kevin Taylor every May and November. We ask them to pour into eighth graders. So this is the format, you guys. And this is what's so exciting. I can go over here to the construction one. And it's the same thing here. All mechanics, all auto repair companies. This is the next group, auto mechanics. Every August, we point to them. Book authors, bricklayers, carpenters, corner stores, electricians, martial arts, lawyers, marketers, painters, plumbers, sales reps, people that go to vending, things of that nature. All of you guys is one formation that supports each other. And these are the months that you support each other. All mechanics, we asking you to help seventh grade awards out. If you do that, seventh grade parents are going to pour into you. If you are a book author, same format. We asking book authors to help 11th grade parents out. If you do that, they're going to help you. Uh, the list just keeps going through every one of these professions, how we make certain that we create the cycle. Oh, I said I want to keep pointing out that each one of these has its own village that is assigned to each one of these. So all authors, Village 5308 is assigned to them, and they meet every fourth Wednesday just to make sure that the authors are supported. 11th grade parents. So this just continues. It just keeps on going, you guys. It's making sure that everything in our community is taken care of. And so from funeral homes, landscapers, lounge owners, massage therapists, daycares, car washes, beauticians, apparel, it's all together. It's 64 different industries all linked to K through 12th grade. So I think that's it. I want to just go back here. um, I want to go back so you guys can look at what these villages look like again. So Village 2916, Apparel, they meet every first Saturday at 4 o'clock. These blocks, getting these blocks to come together and have conversations with each other, talk to each other, and eventually be there for each other, because that's ultimately what we're doing. This village, 1504. This one is big here, right here, 1504. These blocks, getting to know each other, coming together. They deal with all fourth graders in the whole city. So we got to make these 16 blocks the safest 16 blocks, because now you got children coming over there. So let me end this part and let me just talk to you guys in the camera. I see we lost our lives, so I thought we was live. We're not, but you would get it on the recording. Here's the bottom line. And you saw 4 quarters, 10 dimes, but you didn't see is 20 nickels that go to Mississippi and 100 pennies that go to Africa. The challenge in Black America is because so many people have exploited us. It's a lot of people who are so focused on what they're doing that it's hard for them to take their eyes off their prize. And I'm here to tell you, the way we're built to make life easier for you. And what do I mean by that? There's 16 blocks set aside for every one of our things that we deal with, whether it's apparel, whether it's with food, whether it's with construction, whether it's with education. We've set aside 16 blocks. Now, are those 16 blocks fully aware of what we're doing? No, but it's okay. The main thing for you to know is whatever it is you're doing, what God got you working on, there's 16 blocks set aside to help you. Now, just like anything, we got to pay for it. We got to pay for it. So this is the only thing holding us back at this point, is convincing you to release the loose change, release the $1 a month, the $12 a year, so that we can finance this movement that you see. It took 25 years to get to this place. This isn't something you just fly by night and put together. It is ultra interconnected. Ultra. There's nothing else like this that we know of in the world. And so the minute we can convince people to release the money, you're going to start to see new neighborhoods. You're going to see people behaving differently. HSN is how we're going to make neighborhoods safer. That's habits, schedule, network. You saw every one of them 16 blocks had a schedule. It had a date and time. You saw 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 6 or 7 o'clock on every one of them villages. There's 180 of these villages. So imagine when these villages are pooling together, block by block, neighbors are getting to know each other and they're interacting with each other with purpose, not just because we're neighbors. Because my son wants to be a lawyer and your neighbor across the alley is a lawyer. So it makes sense now for them to interact. And the fact that we're doing all of this with love, we're doing all this because we care for each other, it's going to make it all beautiful. So my prediction, with 2 months left to go this year, if we can convince you guys to release the money, $12 a year, loose change, we're going to be able to hire people to take what I just got through articulating and put it into practice outside of me. Right now, I'm doing 90% of this work. And as long as I'm doing 90% of the work, that means we're limited. We're putting too many eggs in one basket and we can't grow. What's going to end up happening when you release the money, now we can start financing the payments of staff all over this country to make this thing work in every jurisdiction. So thank you guys for watching. My direct number is 312 area code 405-8844. That's 312-405-8844. It might take a minute. Internet is slow for me to get this video saved on YouTube so that you guys can watch it, share it with people, and let them know we are $12 away from safer neighborhoods. We are $12 away from safer neighborhoods. We are $12 away from safer neighborhoods. I don't care if I'm talking to Tyler Perry, Barack Obama, Michael Jordan. We are $12 away from safer neighborhoods because the power is always in the masses. It's not in one or two people who are ultra rich. It's in what we do individually, but collectively. Thanks for watching. Peace.